Listen, 2026 isn't going to wait for you. Every year, millions of people hustle, grind, and give everything to everyone else except themselves. What if this year you flipped the script? What if why you became the priority? Not selfishly, not arrogantly, but with the clarity and courage to take care of your energy, your time, and your life first. Imagine the doors that open, the confidence you build, and the people you inspire when you stop putting yourself last. This year, it's about you. First, always, absolutely. Here's a fully expanded version of key point one in natural flowing style, as if delivered in a motivational speech. Think about this for a second. Your energy is your currency. Every single day, you spend it sometimes wisely, sometimes recklessly on people, on obligations, on problems that aren't even yours to solve. And most of the time, you don't even realize how much of it is slipping through your fingers. You wake up, go to work, scroll social media, check emails, manage everyone else's life, and by the end of the day, you're completely drained. And then somehow you still expect yourself to be creative, productive, motivated, and present. That doesn't work. It never has, and it never will. If you're going to make 2026 the year you put yourself first, you need to start seeing your energy as sacred, because it is. Here's the truth: energy isn't just about physical stamina. It's mental, it's emotional, it's spiritual. And every time you allow someone else to demand it, to take it without consideration, or to drain it through unnecessary drama or toxicity, you are literally stealing from your own potential. Think about the people you know who are always tired, frustrated, or resentful. Notice a pattern. It's not bad luck, it's energy mismanagement. They're giving themselves last place, and it's showing up in their performance, in their relationships, and in the way they feel about themselves. You don't have to live like that. You get to decide who and what deserves your energy. You get to protect it like a vault, because it fuels everything in your life. The first step is boundaries. Boundaries aren't walls, they're bridges to your best self. They're what allow you to say no without guilt, to step back from the things that drain you, and to step into the things that lift you up. Saying no is powerful. It's not selfish, it's essential. You can't pour from an empty cup. And if you continue giving your energy away to things that don't serve you, you will always feel empty. Maybe that's why you've been frustrated, why life feels heavier than it should, or why you've been waiting for a breakthrough that never comes. Protect your energy like it's the most valuable asset in your life, because it is. And it's not just about saying no, it's about being intentional with where your energy goes. Ask yourself this question constantly: is this serving me, or am I serving this? If it's not serving you, step away. If it's not helping you grow, learn, or become a better version of yourself, let it go. Your energy is finite, and the sooner you treat it like the precious resource it is, the sooner you start seeing results in your life. Because when you're operating from a place of energy abundance, not scarcity, everything changes. Your focus sharpens, your decisions improve, your relationships feel lighter and more authentic. And here's the thing: most people underestimate how deeply energy impacts every aspect of their life. Mental clarity, emotional resilience, and even physical health all start with protecting your energy. When you're constantly drained, stressed, or anxious, your mind can't think clearly. You get reactive instead of proactive. You can't solve problems effectively because your brain is in survival mode. Your emotions are on edge because you're exhausted, and your body starts showing the wear and tear because stress manifests physically. But when you prioritize yourself and your energy, suddenly things shift. You start showing up differently. You make smarter choices. You interact with people from a place of abundance, not depletion. And everything in your life begins to feel lighter, more manageable, more within your control. Here's another secret: protecting your energy doesn't just improve your life. It transforms the way other people experience you. When you're calm, collected, and clear, you become magnetic. People notice. Opportunities appear. Conversations feel easier. You don't get dragged into chaos because you're centered, grounded, and operating from a full cup. And that's exactly what putting yourself first looks like. It's not arrogance or selfishness, it's strength. It's showing the world that you value yourself enough to create the conditions for your own greatness. So in 2026, Make a commitment to yourself. Your energy is non-negotiable. Decide who, what, and how you give it away. Build boundaries that protect your mind, heart, and body. Say no without guilt. Step back from the things that drain you and step forward into the things that empower you. Because when you put yourself first in this way, not only do you honor your own potential, but you also give yourself the power to change everything else in your life. And it all starts with a choice. Today, right now, you can choose yourself first. 2. Clarity beats chaos. Think about your life for a moment. How often do you feel like you're spinning in circles, reacting to everything around you, and never really moving toward what you want? It happens to all of us. We get caught in the noise, in the endless obligations, the distractions, the expectations of others, and suddenly we realize we're living someone else's version of a life instead of our own. That's chaos. And the first step to breaking free from it is clarity. Clarity isn't just a buzzword, it's the foundation for putting yourself first, because when you know exactly what matters to you, you stop wasting time, energy, and emotions on things that don't. Clarity starts with a simple but powerful question: what do I want my life to look like? Not what your boss wants, not what your friends expect, not what your family thinks is best. Your life. When you answer that question honestly, everything begins to change. You start seeing what really deserves your attention and what doesn't. You can separate the signal from the noise. And once you can do that, you can start making decisions that actually move you toward your vision, instead of just reacting to the world around you. But here's the thing, clarity doesn't always come easily. Life is messy, and our minds are constantly pulled in 100 different directions. There are endless inputs, endless opinions, and endless distractions. That's why putting yourself first requires intentionality. You have to carve out space to think, to reflect, and to assess your own life without interruption. It could be a morning routine, journaling, meditation, a walk in nature, anything that allows you to reconnect with your own priorities. Because if you don't define your destination, you'll end up somewhere else entirely, and it won't feel like your life at all. Once you have clarity, decision-making becomes easier. You stop overthinking every little choice because you know what aligns with your goals and values. Opportunities that don't fit your vision no longer feel like obligations. You can say no without guilt, redirect your energy, and take action confidently. Clarity gives you the power to make decisions not out of fear, not out of habit, but out of purpose. And purpose is magnetic. When you operate from clarity, people notice, opportunities show up, your confidence grows. Life starts flowing instead of constantly feeling like a struggle against the current. Another aspect of clarity is understanding your values. Values are the compass that guides every choice you make. They tell you what's worth your time, energy, and effort. When you know your values, every decision becomes simpler because you can measure it against your internal standard. Does this align with who I am and who I want to become? If yes, move forward. If no, step away. Simple, but incredibly powerful. Most people live in conflict because they haven't defined their values. They're pulled in every direction, trying to please everyone, and that's exhausting. Clarity fixes that. Clarity sets you free. Clarity also gives you patience. When you know where you're going, you stop rushing. You stop comparing yourself to everyone else. You understand that life is a process, that results take time, and that every step you take is meaningful if it's aligned with your vision. Instead of reacting impulsively to every setback or distraction, you move with intentionality. You conserve your energy for the things that matter. And over time, this patience compounds. You become unstoppable not because you're faster or louder than everyone else, but because you're deliberate, focused, and aligned. And let's be honest, living without clarity is exhausting. When you don't know what matters, when you don't know what direction to take, everything feels like a crisis. You're constantly scrambling, constantly stressed, constantly at the mercy of life's chaos. But when you put yourself first, clarity becomes your shield against that chaos. You don't just react, you respond. You don't just survive, you thrive. You create the life you want because you know exactly what that looks like. And you make consistent decisions every day that bring it closer to reality. So, in 2026, Start by seeking clarity relentlessly. Don't settle for vague goals or living on autopilot. Define your vision. Know your values. Decide what you will allow into your life and what you will not. Make choices intentionally. Step back, reflect, and adjust constantly. The clearer you are, the easier it is to put yourself first, because clarity gives you the power to say no to what drains you and yes to what builds you. And when you operate from that clarity, chaos loses its grip and your life begins to feel like it was always meant to feel purposeful, aligned, and unstoppable. Because clarity isn't just knowing the path, it's owning it. Relationships thrive when you're whole. That's not just a nice phrase, it's a truth that most people overlook. We spend so much of our time trying to make other people happy, trying to fix their problems, or bending ourselves into shapes that we think they'll like. We give away our energy, our attention, our presence, and then we wonder why relationships feel heavy, draining, or unfulfilling. The reason is simple. You can't give what you don't have. You can't show up fully for others if you haven't first invested in yourself, set boundaries, and taken care of your own mind, body, and spirit. When you put yourself first, when you prioritize your own growth, clarity, and energy, something remarkable happens. Your relationships transform. Think about it. When you're whole, when you're operating from a place of abundance, instead of scarcity, you don't need validation from others. You don't seek approval, you don't cling to attention, and you don't settle for connections that drain you. Instead, you show up from a place of strength, confidence, and authenticity. People feel that energy, they notice it. And because you're not giving from emptiness, your relationships become richer, more meaningful, and more reciprocal. You're able to give fully because giving doesn't come at the cost of your own well-being. It comes from the overflow of the energy, clarity, and confidence you've cultivated by putting yourself first. Putting yourself first also allows you to set healthy boundaries, and boundaries are the backbone of every strong relationship. Without them, relationships become messy, imbalanced, and toxic. When you know your limits and communicate them clearly, you create an environment where respect is the default, not the exception. And here's the beauty of it. People respect you more when you respect yourself. When you're unwilling to compromise your values, your energy, or your time for things that don't serve your growth, you create relationships built on mutual understanding, support, and genuine care. Boundaries aren't walls. They're a declaration that you value yourself. And when you value yourself, others are inspired to value you too. Another incredible aspect of putting yourself first in relationships is that it allows you to truly listen and connect. So often, people are present because they're worried, anxious, or depleted. They're distracted by everything else going on in their lives. But when you take care of yourself first, you show up fully, you listen without judgment, you engage without distraction, and you support without resentment. You become someone others can rely on, not because you overextend yourself, but because you're strong, balanced, and fully present. That's the kind of presence that transforms friendships, family bonds, romantic partnerships, and even professional connections. And let's not forget that putting yourself first teaches others how to treat you. When you show up whole, when you operate from a place of self-respect, people learn the standard. They learn that you won't tolerate disrespect, imbalance, or negativity. They learn that your time and energy are precious. And when you set that tone, relationships shift. The people who deserve to be in your life rise to the occasion, and the ones who drain you naturally fade away. That's not rejection, it's refinement. It's creating space for relationships that elevate you rather than diminish you, and it's a direct consequence of prioritizing yourself. When you put yourself first, you also create a ripple effect in your community. Think about it. When you model self-care, boundaries, and self-investment, you inspire others to do the same. Friends, colleagues, even family members start seeing what's possible when someone respects their own needs and growth. Suddenly, the people around you start leveling up because they see that prioritizing yourself doesn't mean abandoning others. It means showing up stronger for them. You become the catalyst for healthier, more abundant relationships, not just in your life, but in the lives of everyone around you. And the most important thing to realize is this: putting yourself first doesn't make you selfish. It makes you whole, capable, and generous in the right way. It gives you the power to love fully, to support fully, and to engage fully. It allows you to be the best version of yourself for others, not out of obligation, but out of overflow. You can't give from an empty cup, but when your cup is full, when your mind is clear, your energy is high, your confidence is unwavering, everything you give becomes meaningful, sustainable, and life-changing for the people around you. So in 2026, commit to putting yourself first in every relationship. Protect your energy, set your boundaries, invest in your growth, and show up fully. Not only will you create more fulfilling, authentic connections, but you'll also transform the way others see and experience you. The truth is, healthy, thriving relationships aren't about sacrifice. They're about strength. They're about being whole and giving from that wholeness. And when you do that, everything else in your life naturally begins to flourish, because the best relationships start with the best version of you. Invest in yourself relentlessly. This is the part that so many people skip, but it's the single most important choice you can make if you want 2026 to be the year you put yourself first. Because here's the truth: no one else is going to prioritize your growth the way you can. No one else is going to invest in your skills, your confidence, your health, and your mindset like you can. And the moment you accept that, the moment you stop waiting for someone else to validate your worth or give you permission to grow, is the moment your life starts changing. Investing in yourself doesn't have to be complicated, and it doesn't have to be expensive. It's about commitment, consistency, and recognizing that you are your greatest asset. It can mean dedicating time to read books that expand your mind, taking courses that build your skills, or learning habits that improve your health and energy. It can mean waking up earlier to work on your goals before the rest of the world demands your attention, or carving out time in the evening to reflect and plan instead of scrolling endlessly on your phone. Every small choice, every small investment compounds over time, and it's those compounded efforts that create the breakthroughs others only dream about. Most people get caught up thinking investing in themselves is a luxury, but it's not. It's survival. The reality is this: the world doesn't slow down for anyone. Opportunities don't wait for you to feel ready. If you aren't growing, learning, and improving, you're falling behind. And the gap between those who invest in themselves and those who don't only gets wider with time. Every day you spend not improving, not leveling up, not committing to your growth, you're losing ground. But every day you choose to invest in yourself, no matter how small, you're building momentum that will carry you to places most people will never even reach. Investing in yourself also means investing in your health. Energy is the fuel that drives everything else in your life, and if you ignore your body, your energy, and your well-being, nothing else matters. It's not about being perfect, it's about being intentional. Eating better, moving your body, sleeping enough, and caring for your mental health are all investments that pay back exponentially. When your body is strong, your mind is sharp, and your emotions are balanced, you can take on challenges that would crush someone else. You can work harder, think clearer, and show up fully for the people and projects that matter. Another crucial part of investing in yourself is developing your mindset. Too often, people focus only on external skills, on what they can do, without investing in how they think. Your mindset determines how you respond to challenges, how you handle failure, and how you interpret the world around you. Reading, studying, surrounding yourself with people who push you, and intentionally practicing self-awareness are all ways to strengthen your mental and emotional muscles. The stronger your mindset, the more resilient you become, and the less the chaos of the world can derail you. And here's something most people miss: investing in yourself is also about investing in your confidence. Confidence isn't something you're born with, it's something you build. Every skill you learn, every habit you form, every boundary you set, every risk you take builds your confidence. And when you operate from confidence instead of doubt, life opens up in ways you didn't think were possible. People trust you more, Opportunities come easier, and your sense of worth becomes unshakable. That's the power of investing in yourself. The rewards aren't just external, they're internal too. Most importantly, investing in yourself teaches you that you are worth it. When you put energy, time, and effort into your own growth, you're sending a message to yourself and to the world: I matter. My dreams matter. My potential matters. And nothing and no one can take that away. Too many people wait for validation, for permission, for someone else to notice them before they take action. But the truth is, the only validation that matters is the one you give yourself. The moment you accept that, the moment you commit to yourself fully, everything else becomes possible. So in 2026, don't just talk about putting yourself first, act on it. Invest in your knowledge, your skills, your health, your mindset, and your confidence. Create daily habits that build you up even when no one is watching. Commit to your growth so relentlessly that by the end of the year, the person you are becomes unrecognizable compared to the person you were at the start. Because the greatest investment you will ever make is the one you make in yourself, and the returns are life-changing, permanent, and entirely yours to claim. When you choose to invest in yourself, you're not being selfish. You're creating the foundation for everything else you want in life. And it all starts with a single choice to put yourself first every single day. So here's the bottom line: 2026 is your year. It's the year you decide to put yourself first, not out of selfishness, but out of self-respect, clarity, and purpose. It's the year you protect your energy, seek clarity, invest relentlessly in yourself, and show up whole in every relationship. The choice is yours. You can keep giving to everyone else while leaving yourself behind, or you can step into the life you were meant to live, fully present, fully committed, and fully unstoppable. Start today. Choose yourself, because when you do, everything else in your life will begin to fall into place in ways you never thought possible.